Oh god. Oh my god.
I'm surprised that shit is all over your keyboard.
I know, right? Oh no, and I broke my tripod too.
Well, looks like we are not live.
That was crazy as fuck. I almost fell.
What did you expect?
My fucking. Oh god. Oh god. Oh my god. Hey, and they cannot see us because it's all crooked.
No, just put your hand on the table and fix it.
I don't know what the hell's happening.
Is it live?
Yeah,
We're live.
we were live. We are live, and it's like going super
From
smooth.
the inside of your palm. It's a little humid here.
It's going super smooth, man. It's all crooked and everything.
Smooth like my head.
Smooth like your head. Oh my god, before we got started, we almost died.
You
there.
almost died. Your laptop almost died.
I know.
Over likes Kane's tea. The tinfoil hat hour. They can't see it.
They can't see it.
Yeah, can't see.
Let me pull it up on my screen so we can look at the questions.
Question.
Yes.
I like how y'all still got a Christmas decorations. That Christmas tree dress thing or whatever.
Is that even a decoration?
I don't.
Ever. There we are.
People are like, why is your neighbor in your living room? It's me, psych.
There, now they can probably see us full fold. And my stupid haircut makes me look like the guy from
No Country for Old Men. I was just about to say that.
Just need to flip a coin. Heads you win, tails you lose.
I've never seen that movie.
It's
the part where he's like going around with that cattle prod thing.
Yeah. Was it a cattle prod?
It was like the thing that they like, you know.
Hey, we're live.
Oh, tune in. You are. Why?
Wow.
Why? What is it in the bottom right corner?
That is
That's you
Nicolas
watching
Cage.
you.
That is Nicolas
What's it in
Cage.
the bottom right corner?
I'm here with Sean Evans.
Streamception. Welcome to Hot Ones.
That is Nicolas Cage.
I just need to set up real proper like he does.
Yeah. That is
Give me some spicy shit and I'll pretend like it ain't nothing.
Welcome to Sean Evans. I'm
Hot Ones.
I'm Hot Ones. What's
You need some water? Are you good? This next wing is.
Oh my god, that's spicy.
I mean, my mom drinking that tea. Is this too spicy?
This is too spicy. Alright, let me just send this out real fast. Who? Huh?
Send a what out?
Who?
I thought we were doing something. You're checking your Facebook.
No, well, we need to have people here to talk to, am I right?
I guess I'm not good enough. Oh, you froze.
We did freeze, because my computer's really slow.
Y'all didn't think about doing this beforehand.
Well, we had to do it before, so might as well do it in the weird, awkward
That don't
stage.
make no sense.
And then in the whole awkward beginning stage of like, oh, okay. So let's go to.
Is that a hole in your jacket or like paint?
That is paint. I'm an artist. That adds character to this jacket. Unlike you, uncultured. Sean Evans looking ass.
No country for old men looking ass.
Whole country for no old men looking
Old
ass.
country for no men. Quit reading people's statuses and do your shit.
Where are my groups at? Oh, I guess I'll just Tulsa.
You know, you were heading in the right direction. I saw it.
Yeah. There you go. That's what I had to type in.
But you ain't even from Tulsa.
I know, but this is the only Oklahoma group that I got. We'll just do this and join my pod.
But it's a live stream. Oh my god. Join my podcast, my live stream. You're just like those people that type something once, but like I cannot press the backspace button, and my caps lock is stuck on.
Oh shit, that's loud as fuck.
You need to get Office on this device.
There you go. Boom. Sent. Roll with the punches.
That's a copywritten phrase. It's an REO Speedwagon lyric. Quit scrolling through Facebook.
I gotta make sure this is the right page before I just start poking at it.
Now you gotta like your own post.
Oh yeah. We got one person watching, and I think that's me.
Duh.
So there you go. How do you like your tea?
Great. Thank you.
Well, welcome to the Super Fun Attack podcast. After how many minutes on the air have we been watching?
-3.
We've been
For 7 minutes.
we've been live for 7 minutes and
Still ain't done shit.
still ain't done shit. So, how was your day today?
It was pretty alright.
It's Monday, so Monday
You
usually
don't.
work.
Monday you usually not wear a watch.
Monday I usually have D&D, but that got canceled.
Because of the holiday, you know.
What
They're
holiday?
super respectful. President's Day.
What president died for me?
All of them. Not enough, if you ask me.
Right? I did not know it was President's Day. Let's look up President's Day.
Why? All it's gonna say is the mail doesn't run and your trash is still on the curb.
Monday, February 18th. So there's a lot of holidays that go on in February. You got Black History Month. You got Valentine's Day. President's Day. That's like
That's 3, man. If you think this is crazy, you ought to see December.
You got
They got Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Christmas, Boxing Day,
Boxing Day,
New Year's Eve.
New Year's Day.
That's in January.
Wow. I was literally watching a video. I forgot what type of video it was that reminded
Knowing
me.
you, hentai.
I don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
I'm trying
I've been clean for 2 hours.
I've been clean for 16 hours. We've been trying to get a new low and new way of doing things.
Well, you better not tell me about it.
So I recently got a new game called Crackdown 3. I don't know if you heard about it.
Isn't that the game with like the sea dudes?
What?
Oh, that's Splashdown.
No, Crackdown 3 was, do you know who Terry Crews is?
Yeah.
I guess he's been the face for Crackdown 3, and you can actually play him in the video game.
Oh,
And so, game came out. I do have it. I'll probably play it some other time. But I guess it turned into a flop. Cause Crackdown 1 and 2 were all about the multiplayer, and basically you play as a special agent, aka a cop. And I guess the third one also takes place during the Los Muertos and everything else from the first one. But then the second one had zombies in it, which is weird. And yeah, it's just weird. It's a pretty simple game. It's not that. I'm not saying it's like worth the $60, but if you're gonna buy it for $60, go ahead. The only reason that I have it is because I got Xbox Game Pass, and Game Pass is like they have like a deal right now where it's like $2 a month, and I was like, might as well see how far $2 can stretch me. So I have $2 in my bank account. No, I don't. So.
Now you're overdrawn by
now
$30 instead
overdrawn.
of $28.
And so with the Xbox Game Pass, I was able to download it. I know I can download this other game called Mutants, which is like a weird top-down perspective from. I don't know if you ever seen of XCOM.
Oh, that was a movie with Nick Cage and Steve Buscemi, and they're on the plane.
No, I think that's Con Air.
Oh, close.
But for Nicolas Cage's hair, it should have been Con Hair.
Yeah.
But
He's got the whole world
in his hand. He got the whole world.
Copywritten, flagged.
Flagged. Yeah. So basically, in the whole in XCOM, it was like. It's like
I gotta get out of prison to give this bear to my daughter.
It's like a top-down perspective and everything, and so you go like basically it's like a turn-based type deal. Have you ever played Advance Wars?
No.
Okay, well, you don't play games.
I played that Star Wars Empire something game where like you control a bunch of troops from the top down.
Probably thinking about it.
I know what the tops of men's heads look like, if that's what you're asking.
Let me just show you. Mutin.
You misspelled it. It's mutant.
Oh.
Mutant.
Mutant. There you go. There you go.
Oh wow, they're like animals.
Yeah.
So which one's Terry Crews? Is it Perry the Platypus?
Perry the Platypus. But yeah, it's like one of those top down. But then when you get into combat, it kind of just turns into like a whole like take turns type strategy where you can move so many blocks. So I say like, oh, if this guy was a sniper, he can move further away because he has to get up to a higher mountain area or something, you know. And then, or if this guy was like a tank, he can move further.
A tank.
A tank. But for Crackdown 3, so let's just grab gameplay.
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 I wrote a gameplay. You want to read it?
But yeah, it looks
like a loading screen.
it looks eerily similar from the first one and second one for the Crackdown type.
This is a video. You don't have to wait for the thing to load. You can like skip ahead. Wow.
But this is from Crackdown.
That's not really top down. That's like third person.
Well, this is from Crackdown 1. So I just want you to like have you look at what it looks like from like each character to car. The cool thing about Crackdown 1 is like every time you progressed or something, you do see the whole like you see that whole like side right here.
Yeah.
Basically, this was firearms, just strength, bombs, driving, and then that was a agility and stuff. Every time that you leveled them up, your character got more beefier and shit. And so
Whoa.
you kind of become like you start off like being a shitty driver, and then you begin, starting to be cool and stuff. Eventually, you don't even need to have a car because you can just like jump high.
This dude is running crazy fast.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And so, basically, it's essentially like that. And so for Crackdown 3,
Oh, there's Terry Crews.
yeah, it's all
looking
Terry
like a snack.
So this is what Crackdown 3 looks like right now, and it looks eerily similar to Crackdown 1, which, I mean, Crackdown is not, game of the year, but it's like, if you want a simplicity game and you want to just like, oh, this is just something for me to jack around in, I could just play this and, beat it within that. Because I was able to beat like,
yeah, it sounds like my kind of game. Jacking around and beating it.
So, like, that's where you first start off.
Is it the Oh My Mama Shrine?
Oh, yeah. So it does have like a nice, like, different of like comic book style, like picture, But other than that, it's just like, it looks too similar,
Looks like fork knife.
Yeah, and like it looks, obviously it looks more smooth and everything else, but at the same time, it's just like it's not really changing anything. It's if I were to give it an average rating, I'll probably just give
You
it.
haven't played it yet, have you?
I do have, yeah, I have played it.
Oh, okay.
It's on my Xbox right now. It's only 10 gigabytes. And then they got a separate multiplayer that's like separate.
It's only 800 gigawatts.
But they got a separate multiplayer, which is like separate from what it is.
Oh, he just 360'd that guy.
So you have to like download the multiplayer if you want to play for online for 5 versus 5. So.
Whoa, that's a cool water gun.
So obviously you got Terry Crews and everything. All the guns in here look, obviously they're science fiction type guns,
All the guns look like water blasters.
Water blasters.
I forget what the big good brand is called.
Uh-oh.
Super Soaker.
Super
That's what it
Soaker.
was. That one totally looked like the big Super Soaker. The one that you pump up 100 times and all it does is like one blast.
Oh, yeah. Blast.
And all your opponents are like,
I was thinking about what the fuck. You're talking about that woman that like ate and stuff.
What?
About that woman who ate her oatmeal and she was just scraped
Oh, yeah.
and things like that. Maybe I should change the name because I
But
forgot
we're like
to put it.
already into it. You
We
can't
are.
change.
We can put down crack
Pipe.
down 3 and then save changes.
Crackdown 3, number 2.
Well, podcast number 2.
Yeah, well, you should have put that probably before the breakdown.
Right.
Oh, it ain't even changed.
Probably.
Oh, there it goes.
There you go.
Whoa. You hear that? You don't hear that? Sounds like it's ringing like crazy. You don't hear that? Sounds like it's ringing like crazy. You don't hear that? Okay, I think it's gone, but like, that was crazy, man.
that was ghost, man.
Get that tinfoil hat you had earlier, man.
Number 11. Tinfoil hat.
I think that's what our fire alarm at work sounds like. Like, am I? Do I have tinnitus or is there a fire?
There's a fucking fire, dude. Have you ever had a fire in a building before? I remember back.
I had some fire in the booth.
I remember back at IHOP. I remember back at IHOP. Like our grill caught on fire, which is weird. You would say, "Oh, it's a grill; it should be always on fire."
Yeah, but if it's like covered in grease, it ain't.
Yeah, IHOP was very really covered in grease. I remember the guy who, that when you took me to Subway and stuff, or was it you that took me to Subway? Yeah. I was telling him about that and stuff. Like it just reminds me of that one guy. Where he's like, "Well, that wouldn't happen if you worked here." Like what? Like I don't know. He seemed really desperate for friends.
You forgot to mention that you ran into somebody who you used to work at IHOP with there, and you were like, "Yeah, fuck IHOP." And then after that person left, the guy that you're talking about was like, "Hey man, I heard you was saying fuck IHOP." Well, fuck you, man. My homie rep IHOP. Don't disrespect.
Don't disrespect. Want some corn chips?
No, I'm good. My breath already smells like shit.
Everyone always says, like, every time that I'm at work, I'm always like back at IHOP, and they always make fun of me for it. They're like, every time you say back at IHOP, it always seems like you're like back in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I seen some shit.
What else am I supposed to say? Back it off. Back
in middle school. You're supposed to say it was one time at band camp.
One time in band camp.
I thought you said you had like some questions prepared or something, and all we're doing so far is going back and forth between the page of the podcast and your channel.
I did, but I was.
You're like, I gotta get the traffic up on this so I can get higher ranking.
I do. I'm kind of like thinking about what else to let me tell you about my friend Maria Buta.
Butna.
She might be a Russian spy, you know.
Well, she's like in custody, suspected of it. So. We're not. Okay, we're not gonna read the stories off the homepage of Yahoo. All right, we're not Ryan Seacrest, where we just read the news off the homepage of websites.
Ew.
What? What?
Should be ugly. So, how's life going for you?
You already asked me how my day was.
I said your day, not your life.
My life sucks. Today was okay.
How's dealing with my brother lately?
Great.
He can hear this right now.
He's our one viewer.
He's our that one viewer.
Yeah, he's asleep.
You know, I texted him today. He was like, "No D&D." He's like, "What? Why?" And I was just like, "I don't know." He's like, "I'm going to sleep then."
He was like, "Now what am I gonna show up late to and not pay for?"
Oh my god. I don't know why he would even do that. That thing just pissed me off about how he's just all like fucking. Ugh.
And then he'll walk in there like. You know what?
Exactly.
With a bandana over it.
Oh yeah. Oh look, a more successful podcast that's happening right now.
But yeah, it's Philip DeFranco.
Philip the Fucko. Hello there today, beautiful bastards. I'm here to talk about.
Let's just jump into it.
Let's just jump into it. Today, let's talk about.
Let me know in the comments. I want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah. Well. Oh yeah.
So like, I hate to sound like a broken record, but it sounded like you had some stuff prepared for it, and I'd hate to think that the one time you prepared for something, you didn't even get to the material that you prepared. So, you said you had some questions.
Well, hopefully I try to do things like organically and see before I have to pull out those questions. I think we're doing okay so far.
Well, hey man, this organic stuff is just like the organic stuff in the grocery store. It dies. All right.
Okay. Well, it's on my phone.
Brilliant.
Let me see if I can pull it up.
Go to Google Docs,
Let's
the
see.
iCloud.
Go on my Google
Docs.
Google Docs. Well, I did have a
Oh
couple
man,
things.
you got Google Docs in my Blarkinson.
You ready for that one?
Yeah, well, it still sounds organic.
Well,
Certified.
well, this one's for basically CJ, which I do remember this one. Inside Gaming came back.
What's that?
Well, it was a
Is that
channel.
where you game indoors instead of outdoors?
Or last podcast that we did was talking about how Machinima came about.
Oh yeah.
And then I was talking about, yeah, and how it ended, and I guess people from Machinima, I guess Inside Gaming now, what they were saying, they own Machinima, which is like, I gotta do a little bit more things, but they own back their name back. Now they have Inside Gaming Daily again. Now everything else is like back to normal for them. But other than that, like, I just know like other Machinimas are like down, which is weird. Basically, people who were to be YouTube and gaming on YouTube was kind of like not the norm. Essentially, when people would be like, "Oh, I got to make it onto the Machinima homepage," because Machinima was like all about that shit. You know, like when you made it onto that homepage, people were like, "Oh, fuck, that's a cool guy. Look at this epic gaming moment I did." You know, and that's how you basically got famous.
Yeah, well, I think we discussed this in the last podcast.
Exactly.
It's all starting to come back.
Yeah. Did I ever talk about Ross Scott and all the other cool guys?
Ross Perot.
What? Ross Perot.
And Ross bargains for less.
Ross.
Fashion for less.
Fashion for less. So, I guess they got their channel back and everything else, but other than that, it's just weird to see about how all these other YouTube channels that are like lost success and gained their success back, and I've been here for how long is 2012?
Well, let's see. 9, take away 2. That's 7 years.
Oh my god.
And you ain't got nothing to lose.
I know, right? I can put anything I want on here. When was the first video you were on? I know me and you played Goof Troop.
Scuba
Scuba-da-bloop.
And you got really upset at this joke I made.
What joke?
But it was a classic. One that you didn't want to include in the video, so I can't say it now.
What, give you a piece of paper, what'd you say?
No, because then you're just going to read it and it'll be equally damning. Oh, there was Prune Face.
Oh, yeah. I used a 007.
Oh, yeah, the Goldeneye.
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
And then I got getting over it, Putin over it. You said the guy looked like Vladimir Putin.
For real. Shaved head looking ass.
Oh wow, this is our other one's podcast.
Oh, esports in the Olympics.
Yeah. Which
We already talked about.
did we talk about esports in the Olympics where they decided not to put it in the Olympics?
No. Big shocker, though.
Yeah, I know, right? And look, there's Titty Fall. And
Yeah. Well, this probably came down to the fact that, like, in the Olympics, you know, all the athletes stay in the Olympic Village, you know?
Yeah.
And, like, the Olympic Village is so hopping that they have to hand out, like, birth control and condoms, you know? Because you get, like, the fittest people in the world together competing for sports, and you think they ain't finna bang, you know what I mean?
Oh.
So they didn't want all the E-athletes to feel left out because they ain't, like, fit and trim and all that.
That's weird.
They wouldn't get any action.
Did you hear about the Alien game coming out? The new one? Okay, think of Alien Isolation, but for your phone.
And you had to pay to win.
How do you feel about that?
Hey, sorry guys, I can't talk right now. I'm playing Alien of Clans.
So, essentially, Have you heard about the Blizzard controversy about?
I'm playing Alien Crush Saga.
Correct. So basically, for the Alien and Blizzard, I don't know if you ever heard of a game called Diablo, or at least Diablo 3.
Yeah.
Well, Diablo was always on PC and stuff, so people were like, oh, so. And Blizzard's always like talking about like, oh, we do quality control for everything, we want to have the best thing. And so when they were at BlizzCon last year, they were talking about Diablo internal, or I think it was internal, and they were saying that like, get this for your phone, and people were just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean.
And they're like. And then they're like, "Don't worry, guys. We can give you questions." And they were like, "Is this an off April Fool's joke?" And they were like, "No." And they were like, will you guys move this to PC sooner than later and stuff?" And they were just like,
"Oh, I think I remember you showing me that video."
And like everyone was all like, and then the devs were like, "Do you guys not own phones?" And so, but.
Man, the mobile platform's been dead since Tap Tap Revenge.
I mean...
Throwback to 2009, 10 years ago.
I mean, mobile games that I download is probably like Clash of Clans. There are only a couple of good ones out there.
Like my phone needs any more help draining its own battery.
I know there was a... Dead Space one that came out that looked really good. My other friend was telling me about it, and it looks really dope. But obviously, like mobile gaming is not the future, which is people think it is. But
wait, did they come out or did they announce that Diablo on the mobile after PUBG and Fortnite came out on mobile, or was it before that?
It was like. Well, I would say it was like during the same time, but it wasn't like really connected. But PUBG and Fortnite.
I guess if they saw the mild success of that on the mobile platform, maybe they would have. But I mean, that's been in development long enough. It wouldn't be just like.
Yeah.
So they've been.
And I mean, Fortnite is pretty much easily capable like port it anywhere you want. I mean, it's not gonna be like hard enough for it, but I mean, there are some cool games like. There was kind of like a Diablo game that I do remember playing on my phone, and it was fun, but it was only fun for like, my mobile gaming experience. I only played for like, oh, it was fun for like a couple of weeks, and then I stopped playing, and it just sits there in my phone, and then I just like, well, I don't play it anymore, so I'm just going to delete it. So, mobile gaming may be a sooner than later thing, but in the future... It could be like, oh, okay, well, everything's just going to be on your phone, so. But other than that, I don't really see any success for any mobile games except for, like, Candy Crush, just for, like, old people.
You ever played Words with Friends?
Words with Friends, no, I don't think so.
Yeah, me either.
I just know, like, mobile gaming and the whole platform and everything else is, like, not good. I mean, I don't really see you playing like any successful games on there.
I don't play games on my phone.
At all?
At all.
Well,
other than those games whenever Kai's like, hey, you coming over? And I send him a meme that says, I ain't coming.
I'll let you know. So, but like essentially, I mean, it's just pretty weird, like, in the whole mobile app market about how everything else is coming. And it's just like, mobile games. Like,
you know what's even better than mobile games? Mobile homes.
Oh, fuck. That's funny. Mobile homes. I know, did you know, like, the Joker films got canceled?
I didn't know they were making any.
Well, they got one with Joaquin.
I really dislike comic book movies.
I know. My dad was all like... My dad was all... I should speak lower. My dad was all like so,
Kinda like me.
I know, he was all like... He's like, so does David like movies and stuff? It's like, yeah, I mean, we went to go see a Nightcrawler together before and stuff. But I think we went to go see Alien as well.
Yeah, that one was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
and so, and he was like, oh, well, Avengers is coming out. Does he like that? I was like, he doesn't like comic book movies. And I was like, he's like, oh, okay. I was like, I don't know what he was trying to do. But
Bow, bow, wow, wow. I've been really trying, David. Trying to hold back these feelings I've had for so long. Let's get it on.
Get it on. But yeah, and so I guess Joaquin Phoenix's role will be hey, your hat.
Yeah. And I also hat a really crappy chin neck beard thing going on.
I don't remember that at all.
Good.
Weird. But Joaquin Phoenix is playing a new Joker, which I'll probably show you the trailer for it.
Joaquin Phoenix.
But
I'm trying to think of what he looks like, but for some reason all I can think of is Edward James Olmos. I know that's not right.
So basically, I guess they're gonna have the Jared Leto Joker have his own film, but people were like, well, let's not have that. We got a cooler Joker, which is Joaquin Phoenix one, which I really like because it looks badass, and I just know it will be badass. But obviously, it'll come out around this year sometime.
I thought you said it was canceled.
No, the Jared Leto Joker has been canceled. This here will be live and willing, and it'll be great.
And late breaking.
Yeah. And it looks like it's like set in like a different time
I'm
era.
really confused about what's going on here.
This is just footage they got
Footy.
that they're recording and stuff. So that they got recording and stuff, and everything else. Ain't too much about it.
You see my tiny car? I don't know where it went, but I had 8 buddies in the back seat.
8 buddies in the back seat. But yeah.
I'm gonna take this size 36 shoe and shove it up your ass.
It looks like it's going to be all about like clowns in this whole film, obviously, of course, and but like it's going to be a different take on the Joker, which will be pretty cool though. Well,
Cue all the comments about Heath Ledger. Too soon.
Man, Heath Ledger's Joker's pretty good, but everyone's saying, "Oh, it's over the top," you know. I'm like, what? I mean, you get Joker's Joker, you know.
I'm gonna just come out and say it. I don't care that you broke your arm. No.
Say it. Say it.
I'm gonna say it. Ain't nobody would have cared about it if he would have lived. Ain't nobody would have cared about it if he didn't commit suicide.
Man. Did he commit suicide?
You ain't know that Heath Ledger? And everybody's like, oh, it's because the role of Joker was just so dark. You know.
Well, I don't think so.
You don't think he's dead?
Well, I mean, I don't think.
IMDb that ish.
Well, I don't think. I don't think it's like because of the role of
That's
Joker.
what everybody was saying. Though. That's what got publicity. That's what sold the straight to DVD copies. Okay, it didn't go straight to DVD.
Would you like some more tea?
No, thank you.
Are you thirsty?
I give you just the tea.
Just the tea.
I'm always thirsty. Don't go back on Facebook and check your Facebook.
No, I just wanted to check my notifications. Make corn on the cob.
Speaking of corn, did you get sick after eating that ramen?
No. Did you?
See, I'm vegan, so I can never tell if it's diarrhea or just normal. Remember that one Family Guy, which I don't really watch it that much, but he starts hanging out with those guys in like the Mediterranean restaurant
No.
or the Middle Eastern restaurant, and he goes to the bathroom and he comes back and he says, "Hey, is that diarrhea only sign for real?"
Oh fuck. That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah, I didn't write it. Seth MacFarlane, do not touch me. Wrote.
Do not touch me, wrote it. That's on camera.
Yeah.
So is this. Let's see how blind I can do things.
What are you talking about? You're seeing yourself.
Well, I'm seeing myself.
You can't even do stuff right whenever you can see. You better be careful.
Playing with fire right there, am I right?
You had this table like.
I did, dude.
It was halfway to the ground.
It's because of his fucking knee. Also, Link's Awakening. I don't know if you heard about that.
I never knew he was asleep.
Yeah, for The Legend of Zelda.
You talked about it in the last video that you probably haven't edited and uploaded yet.
No.
So, yeah.
What, are you sure?
Shameless plug for our next video.
That would be a shameless plug. Legend of...
You can't even spell. Lingen. Lingen of Zen.
Launch Awakening.
Awaking.
There you go, right there.
Wow.
Boom, right there. Boom, right there. I'm gonna go good. There. You're gonna watch this. We're gonna react to it. And I'll be back. Aight? Loud enough for you?
What?
I will be back. Whoa.
You really almost fell again, or were you just cracking a fart? How are we gonna react to it if you're not even watching it? Is that a Yoshi egg?
Yes, Yoshi took a shit on it.
Copywritten. Flag.
Oh, that is copyrighted. Oh god, I totally forgot about it. Wait a minute, we're not even making enough AdSense to even get copyrighted.
There's still some bitter, petty people out there that'll flag it. It's for mobile, and
For mobile in 2019.
for real. No,
Actually,
it's-
they will have
Oh
Mario
man,
Kart.
I know what spurred the whole mobile thing.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was the Pokemon,
the whole
whole Pokemon Go thing.
Pokemon Go.
My buddy lost a mailbox to that game.
How?
People were like zooming up and down the street trying to find this Pokestop, and somebody backed into his mailbox trying to flip a bitch in the street to go back to the Pokestop.
What the fuck? For Pokemon?
I mean, he doesn't know that for sure, but he said that his neighbor's daughter thought that she was pretty sure that's what it was about. So that means she knew who it was.
I don't think so.
Oh, this is just like the most frustrating game in the world that they advertise on Facebook.
It'll be,
You're a legend if you make it past level 3.
have you seen those memes about Mafia Wars or whatever? And like it shows like level 1 crook and like 100.
Oh, yeah, I think
level 10 hitman and stuff. Like I realized what the assets they're using for the level 1 crook is from Splinter Cell Conviction. Or no, not Conviction, but Splinter Cell Double Agent. He's in jail and he basically is wearing his jail outfit and stuff. So basically, all those assets that they got is from fucking
Metal Gear Solid.
no, not Metal Gear Solid, Splinter Cell. And I was just like, huh, that's just weird. Hey, Super Mario Maker too. June. That's cool. We can exploit all those videos from doing that and playing other people's creations and stuff. I remember that.
It sounds like, I mean, Mario's already a pretty hard game, depending on, you know.
I do suck at games.
Yeah, so like, how are you? They're gonna expect you to know what pattern to put in to like win the level or get all the coins.
Sometimes they do make them like where you can just sit there.
Buy
and
the
just...
$80 game guide.
but it's a Mario Maker, so people can make your own games.
Oh, like your own courses?
Yeah. Especially for Link's Awakening. Experience interruptions? Yeah, because I got really shitty internet. I think I tried to convince my mom to at least get Cox Communications.
Oh, you like Cox?
I do like Cox. Cox in my mouth. And everything else in between. Well,
we're like, boy, y'all can't even pay the gas bill. How you gonna get broadband internet?
Hey, we can, and we will. Have you seen that new movie Polar yet?
What?
Polar?
No.
How about Umbrella Academy on Netflix?
No. I don't have a TV in my room. Like, that's how little I watch anything.
What do you do in life?
I work, and then I try to sleep, and I cry, and I experiment with self-harm, and I binge and purge. I mean, you don't do that stuff too?
No.
I'm too busy watching Netflix.
I'm too busy watching Netflix and then going away from the show and acting like I watched 5 seasons of
For
it.
real. I told Kai about that. He was...
Well, Kai does the
he
exact
was,
same
yeah, I
thing.
was like, that's what I said to him.
Kai does the exact same fucking thing about how everything else. And everything else. And whatnots.
Well, you want to, you know, like sign us out?
Yeah, I guess it's been like a hot minute. And,
Hot and heavy.
So I guess,
You're waiting on the train to pass, or are you trying to think of something?
CJ salute, I guess.
Boy,
Boy.
not in my neighborhood.
Yeah, I watched someone exposed him.
Ew, gross.